Aloha Global Fam, Unity Grace here. Just waiting for a few of you to come on live. How's your night? Happy 41st Gene. We're in it. Aloha, Miss Elawan. How's the sound? 2 thumbs up. Yay. Hi, Ruthie. Hi, Susan. Anjali. Ivania. St. Grace. Jenna Lee. Aloha. Yay. Thanks for joining in. I'm going to ask if the sound is okay, because people always say, I can't hear you. And I say, that's because you have something in the way of hearing. Hearing the messages from the Oracle. Aloha, fam. Thanks for tuning in. It's a beautiful day inside the DNA, inside those clocks of the I Ching. As the sun ticks away inside of us every year, giving us an opportunity to take a quantum leap. This is the day the sun goes into the 41st gene today. It did. The 41st gene is the start codon, so it's very important. It is all by itself. It has a very specific purpose in the DNA. Whatever follows the start codon sequence is what ignites a whole new cycle. So, you all know I love Richard Rudd's The Gene Keys, and reference it because he did such a miraculous job to help us understand these things. So the 41st gene is all about the beginning of new cycles. It's the opportunity when we have a chance to start at a whole new quantum level within our consciousness. And the I Ching works like a clock, and so the sun goes into different genes throughout the year, activating those different genes for different levels of consciousness, different our capacity to connect into different morphogenic fields. Morphogenic fields are collective fields of consciousness. And so morphogenic fields are very powerful. That's how whole societies and worlds are created, through these morphogenic fields of consciousness and conscious agreement. And so we know on the earth plane, we have been working diligently to pull our conscious agreements back from certain structures. So the limiting structures through the 60th gene, we just passed through the 60th gene, and that is the shadow frequency is rigid structures. And so we all move through that effortlessly, and we dissolved a lot of rigid structures, which is what we've been doing a lot for a long time together on the earth. So that is followed by the new cycle with the 41st gene, which was activated today. So, get out your pens, your papers, your drawing boards, your vision boards, your creative ideas, your journals, and connect in. And most importantly, connect in with your higher self. Meditate, meditate, rise that kundalini up to the top of the head, get it out of the lower 3 chakras, and I'll tell you why. Because when I was going through one of my awakening procedures with creation, I was shown a giant hand coming into my solar plexus, and the guidance went, you want to know where the I Ching sits? And I share this all the time, and I will share it again. It's very important. The guidance said, so if you look at the I Ching, it's like little lines and dots. It's like Morse code, bits and bytes of data imprinted onto the waters of our bodies, which give us our personalities and our blueprints that we're driving. So the guidance came in one very significant awakening journey I was on, and went, here's where the I Ching sits, right in your solar plexus. That's where the imprint of our personality resides. And so this giant hand came in like the hand of God and went click, click, click like a combination lock and unlocked my consciousness from the two-strand DNA and from the blueprint. So you can just imagine that's where your blueprint of two-strand DNA sits. So why do we want to rise the Kundalini up and get it to the top of the head? Well, in some practices, they call that the beloved. When you get the energy from down in the root up to the top of the head, that's the unification with the beloved, and then you want to keep it there. So you keep it there through all the processes that are available to rise our Kundalini up, yoga and meditation and whole brain state and all those great things that work for us. And as the Kundalini stays there, the Morse code, the I Ching, in the solar plexus is decoded, and we are unlocked from two-strand DNA. What Richard says in the Gene Keys is there is a mutation going on in the solar plexus, and having had the experience myself to get the coordinates in order to share, that's what's going on. Once the Kundalini rises up and stays up, the solar plexus begins to get unlocked. And that is the beginning of the liberation from two-strand DNA. Richard says there's a new race of beings coming to the planet. Ra Aru, who brought through the I Ching, called them the Rave I Ching, saying they were coming in 2027. I say they're coming sooner. And of course, Richard speaks about it in the Gene Keys, that some are the forerunners of this. Let's all be the forerunners, hey? Equality is the way. So, yes, 2027, according to the Rave I Ching, Ra Aru said a new race of beings were coming in, fully telepathic from their solar plexus. That's we. We're all feeling it now, that pod mind consciousness. And so this unlocking from the two-strand DNA from the blueprint occurs in the solar plexus, according to the guidance and my own experiences. And the 60th gene, as we talked about in the last transmission, and you've probably read and heard, because everyone's getting the Gene Keys book now and getting on the bandwagon of awakening. The 60th gene in the highest frequency is on transcending the laws of gravity and time. Those two strands of DNA are connected to time and gravity, and then connecting to the triple helix of creation, which takes us into the sea of the infinite, the multiverse, the multi-dimensional realms, which we are all very capable of doing. And so the 41st gene being activated by the sun today is this moment. Let's take the quantum leap. Come on, we don't have to keep going around this two-strand DNA clock. Now, what I love about the 41st gene is that it partners with the 31st gene, and the 31st gene is the gene of the oracle. And I have the oracle on my chart in my culture, which is a wonderful place to have it. It's where it brings you your superabundance. Meaning, it's where you can really let your light shine and share your gifts with creation, your culture. So the 41st partners with the 31st, and the 41st is the start codon, and the 31st is the oracle. And the 41st gene is about morphogenic fields of consciousness. And how do we move into other morphogenic fields of consciousness, out of certain ones and into other ones? By raising our vibration. We are like antennas on radios. Yes, we've heard that analogy many times before, and it's the truth. The top of our head, once our pineal opens and that little antenna pops out, it has the capacity to go beyond the speed of light and connect into other morphogenic fields. Attunement, like radios. We are live walking transmissions, especially when we get beyond the lower frequencies of this old creation, which is no longer this old creation because it's gone. It's dissolved because I say so. I'm the oracle, so I can. So can you. Keep in mind, we all have these genes inside of us. We just have specific blueprints that we're driving in, like cars. I say I'm a blueprint buster. I'll show you a blueprint You're not your blueprint, and I love to bust blueprints because I like to assist in the liberation of consciousness. And much beyond what it says in the 41st gene, there's certain genes and it says that enlightenment cannot be pushed. Well, I say otherwise, and I take the word pushed out. Here's a really cool thing about the 41st and the 31st gene partnering. The 41st is the start codon, the 31st is the oracle, and it says that these are based on anticipation and leadership. Let's get to that 31st one. The gifting frequency. But what I'm going to do here, just want to make sure I've got Richard. Yes, it is leadership. So, anticipation. So the oracle in the higher frequencies is on the cutting edge of consciousness and is not here for self-serving purposes. The oracle is listening to the attunement of the field through the heart. So everything that the oracle brings through is just reading what's in the collective field and speaking it to the field, and then it goes back into the field. So the really cool thing right now, I'm going to share a meditation I had today with you all, is that in the 41st gene it says that enlightenment is acausal. It's nothing, we can't explain how it happens, you can't force it through your meditations or whatever. Yes, so maybe that used to be the old way. The oracle is on the cutting edge of information, intel. I say I'm like a lead caterpillar who's getting the details to give back to the other caterpillars about what's going on up here with our wings to help everyone out of their cocoons, maybe a little bit more gracefully and easily. It's nothing about fast, because time doesn't exist beyond two-strand DNA. It's fun and it's play. So, because they partner, this is the cool little thing, the 31 and the 41. Even though Richard says in the Siddhic frequency that you can't push enlightenment, turns out the oracle is on the cutting edge of the intel, and the oracle is receiving information continually, as I'm sure many other oracles on the earth are, where the guidance is going, actually tell the people you can. We came here for collective awakening. And the intel I am receiving is to say, we can actually activate this consciously together. I'm not going to say push, because push is pushy. We don't need to push. We're going to have fun with this. Savor it. If this video is helpful, please share. So, all of the intel I am receiving is continually saying, tell the people that we can accelerate this process in a way that is beyond time, not acceleration from fast or stress or push. Just in the sense that we can actually do this together consciously, which makes it co-creative and collaborative. And in fact, the guidance keeps saying, and has always said, tell the people to keep putting one foot in front of the other. Don't just sit around and wait for it to happen, because that takes us to the shadow frequency of the 41st gene, which is fantasy. Fantasy is about sitting around dreaming about it and hoping. But what pulls people down into the shadow frequency of fantasy, where their dreams never manifest, is the collective inertia from the past. The collective inertia from the past that was pulling us back. It's not anymore, but it was pulling us back. And so that's what has people remain in fantasy, never fulfilling their dreams. Because you've got to take a little action. The action I invite us to take is raise our Kundalini. And now I'm going to share with you from the meditation I had tonight, or this afternoon, or whenever, in the miracle. That's what I like to use for time. All right, so here's the meditation I have. Listen closely, if you like. Invitation. Here's what I saw. I went into the meditation, and I saw this very thin veil. And I saw many of us raising up out through it. And what was really cool was there was all these angelics just waiting around these little holes that were bursting in the veil. And they were reaching down to grab our hands. And they were pulling us up through it. And so the guidance said, share with others, reach our hand up through the veil and say, I'm ready. My hand is here. And then it showed all these teams of angelics running this way and that, collecting around the hole, kind of like when people ice fish, you know, they make the hole in the ice. Except in this case, the angels were reaching down through the hole and grabbing our hands, and they were grabbing mine and pulling me up, and I was pulling myself out of the sludge of two-strand of the old. It's not bad sludge. It's just, we're done with it. And I was popping up beyond the veil. And there was all these other people. I was looking around, and all the golden ones were popping up around as well. And we were coming out, and we were looking at each other with big smiles on our faces. And you just, everywhere you looked in this infinite field, this infinite sea, there was amazing people like you and like me popping through. We were coming through the veils together. It was so beautiful, really. All right, so reach your hand up, go into meditation, get that kundalini up, keep it at the top of your head, even if you're not sitting in lotus or cross-legged. Just keep that kundalini up, keep collapsing the polarities inside of us. It's the 41st gene day. This is the ATP sequence that activates in our DNA, and whatever programs follow it are the ones that will be activated in the cycle. And I say no more cycles. Let's be done with the cycles with this clock. I have a 6-3 profile in human design that walks in this world, not of it. It's bringing in the intel from the higher hexagram to help guide the way. When the name Unity came in, the guidance said it would resonate with me for 3 days and no longer, but I would keep it for some time to help guide the collective through the gates. Here we are. 41st gene, 2019 coordinate, yay. Okay, so the next thing that I was shown was we were all on top of this field, this thin veil, and as others were coming through, and then we were just kind of like sitting there, and we were taking in the cosmos and everything we were seeing. And then it became kind of like this disc, this dish, this light ship, and it started to activate. That ship we've all been waiting for. That ship that is made up of our collective consciousness ascending. And so it started to light up, and then it started to back away from the earth. And as it backed away from the earth, it became our future selves. We were embodied in our future selves now, looking back at the earth and pulling away from the earth from the story of two-strand DNA. And then the earth turned into this fine shell, and she dissolved. I was like, well, what's that about? We like the earth, this living library filled with beautiful life forms. So I was shown that, and then there was blackness. And we were all being pulled back to source consciousness. And then I opened the 41st to read it after. That's exactly what it says. That's what I love about being the Oracle. And it is combined with the 41. I would read this book and I go, oh my God, that's what I just saw in my meditation. Because the Oracle is on the cutting edge. The Oracle has a little bit of intel to share for those who are willing to receive and hear. So we all went back to source. Blackness of space. Unity consciousness, oneness. And it was still and it was quiet. There was nothing. And then all of a sudden this beautiful, thin, golden threaded structure, kind of like a flower of life, kind of like this beautiful Christmas gift I was given. Kind of like that, it started to form in the blackness of space. And then I saw the earth, and I saw this sphere, and they merged together, and I went, oh my God, I'm going to cry. Gaia is ascending. That's what I saw in my beautiful meditation on this beautiful 41st Codon starter day in the I Ching. Gaia was ascending, and so had we. So, I believe from the intel coming in from Source, which is now saying really encourage the people to know that we participate in this, we co-create and collaborate in this process together. It's an inclusive process. It's equal for everyone, no matter what race, shape, size, or color, ethnicity, or the size of the bank account, which are all going away as we're moving to a different place. So we continue to participate actively together, go into our meditations, connect into the field, reach that hand up. All those angels are excitedly waiting. Some people they were given a real tug to. People were getting up there and going, oh my God, what just happened? Revelations, the real ones. Humanity ascended. Transcended time and gravity. Gravity, the final thing for the consciousness to transcend. For an ascended species in an ecosystem. So I say, let us celebrate this 41st day together. This 41st gene. Day Gateway Say Nay Miracle. Let's celebrate, co-create, collaborate, participate. Let's get the singularity operating. Let's keep the Kundalini up and bring grace in. Invoke grace in your meditations, because grace comes down from above. Evolution happens from the root up. Oh. And just a wonderful little miracle. We're still test running some of our things, but we are getting a social media broadcasting network up and running. We did another test run tonight. We need to get better streaming on our YouTube channels first. But we have a Unity Transmissions website, which we're still working on, but it is live. We have Unity Transmissions YouTube. We have PureEnergy.love website, Sandalphon playing the tunes to keep your vibration up. We have a PureEnergy.love YouTube. We have a PureEnergy.love Facebook. We have a Unity Transmissions Facebook. We have the Living Library Facebook. We have Twitter, Unity One Love. And we just launched on the blood moon, which was very exciting when the lights went out on the dark side of the moon, and the light side too. Our Spreaker, which is our audio, it's our radio series, which will grow and grow with the transmissions and love. Spreaker. Go to Spreaker and look for Unity Transmissions if you want to follow the audio transmissions. Sometimes I think those are the best ones. When they come out, it's like, wow. Feels amazing when they come through, I gotta say. It's pretty fun playing this little role in the game. Gifting, gifting, gifting. Sharing our gifts. Doing everything to share our gifts. A true gifting economy is about sharing our gifts and sharing how we got to our higher states of consciousness. All comes from collapsing the polarities. So back to the broadcasting network. So we got a lot of things up and going through an amazing team of golden ones who trust in these transmissions, who have been in the presence of them for some people, some years now. Because it's what's in the space between the words that's doing the decoding. The shortcut through, that's what unity does, the second gene. Unity synthesizes. It makes it simpler to get the details in. Silence is golden, less is more. Let's get on with this. Transcending borders, boundaries, passports, money, currency from banks and all that stuff. I always said when I went to technology conferences and stood up and spoke, we are the true technology, and the true technology is the technology of love. Right in the heart, singularity. Just get that kundalini up, invoke grace down in, and watch that spiral spin with the Merkaba. And then the morphogenic fields of information that start coming in are higher and higher consciousness, and we don't even have to think anymore. Because thinking complicated things. Now a higher consciousness is coming through to guide us. Boink. So we have our amazing broadcasting network that we have up and running. We're still testing some pieces, but tune in, Spreaker, Spreaker.com. It's Unity Transmissions on Spreaker. And I named the other ones. We can put them in this chat as well. Please share if this is helpful, or it lights you up or inspires you. Should be fun by now together. Yes, just play. Lots of play together. And I would just like to honor and acknowledge the amazing golden ones who have been assisting in all of this, getting this love streaming up in these different channels and recording transmissions and transcribing them with me for months now, miracle months. Elawan Weisenbeck, Ruthie Joy Thompson, Becca Joy, or Rebecca Joy on Facebook, Kelly Jean McGrain, Kathleen Boyle, Harmony Bell, we like to call her, that's her real name, and Mr. Joe Sandalphon, and Infinity, Freedom, Possibilities, Ganesh. Thank you, beauties, for your assistance and love together. We are learning so much, and we are transcending money by sharing what we have and moving it around amongst us, because love materializes far more than money ever could. That is meaningful. So we created our little pool, which I shared with you before. When unexpected money comes in, someone suggested we call it the chrysalis pool, so I did. I like it. They said bank, but I like pool. So when unexpected, a penny on the street comes in, we put it into our chrysalis pool. And then we share it when we see people who need it, as we are guided, and we share it with each other, and we keep mostly it in the pool, loving it. Loving the remnants of those little dollar bills. We are so powerful human beings to love and transcend the old rules and the old systems, and we're already guaranteed. I know because I'm on the cutting edge. Intel, Oracle, 6.3 profile, all those things. We're also ready. We're doing it together. Share what we have with each other. We always have more than we realize. I'm going to post a little video on stone soup, which I showed our crew the other night. We always have more to share than we maybe admit or realize. Mostly we have our gifts and our purpose to get on with, which is when the 60th city ignites in multiple beings, the earth as we know it, or the world as we know it, will collapse or be no longer. I had this beautiful vision as well the other day in one of my meditations. As soon as I went into the meditation, there was like this circle around me in the golden pod that's been assisting. That's what I saw in my meditation. And then I saw all the animals from the forest and the little insects and all the creatures. They were like, all of a sudden they were moving towards us. They were moving towards the edge of the circle. And they were all coming together and they were all looking in at us, going, oh my God, I think they're getting it. It was so beautiful, all these animals clustered together, peering in at us. Restoring this beautiful living library for the garden she was meant to be, living harmoniously together. So, that feels pretty complete. Happy 41st activation of that gene by the sun within us in our solar plexus. You know, when it says the Son of God, it actually means the solar plexus, just so you know. It's in all of us. We are all sons of God. We are all stars turning on. So, we love we. I love you. I love me. I thank me. I thank you. We thank we for tuning in. And if this is helpful, please share it and tune into our Spreaker. Get the app up on your phone so you get live notifications when we go live on Spreaker. Such a great group creating this network. And when we get our YouTube streaming figured out to perfection so the picture looks really good. And we know that this is all just game and we don't really need any of this in between us. We're all telepathic, so I'm going to make one last suggestion on this 41st Gene Day. Let's do this thing. What do you say? Let's get into our meditations, whether they are walking meditations with our eyes open, because we can do that too, and everybody should practice walking meditations with their eyes open so that we're always holding this frequency. Here's my invitation. It's time to transcend borders, boundaries, passports, taxes, all those wonderful things. All of us know it. We are free energy. So, what do you say we meet in the field together? We make these choices within us. We turn on our start codon. We turn on our 60th gene in the Siddhic frequency. And we walk into the new earth together. Just how powerful we are. Just stay in neutrality, stay in love. Neutrality means the capacity to hold it in our awareness and collapse it back into the singularity. So that we can close our eyes and go to the Pleiades for blue spirulina popcorn. And then we can go to beautiful waterfalls on the earth and swim together and swim with the dolphins. Close our eyes and enjoy these beautiful stargates. Enjoy graduation. Let's do this. This is the day. Transcend the cycles of the 64 codons of the 2-strand DNA. Please share. Please make this invitation to everyone. And why would we do otherwise than choose this? Unity Consciousness Multi-D. Sovereign Birthright. Home into the Book of Love in the Tree of Life. Garden restored. Come on. Invite all your friends. Encourage them to do the same. Encourage them to rise up their Kundalini. Come on, it's so simple. Yes. See the walls dissolving, see the borders and boundaries go away. Yay. All right. Have we got it all clear then? Our mission in this start codon? To be completely done with 2-strand DNA, 64 codons. All right, share. Share with others, share on all your groups this video. Let's do it. 41 today on this, what day is today? I don't know. What day is today? The 21st? Is it? Maybe it's the 22nd. Yes, 22nd. All right. So, trust your meditations, reach your hand up. The angels are waiting to grab our hands. Take us up onto our light ship. A round of blue Pleiadian spirulina on me. On deck of ship. All right. Love, light, blessings, and aloha.